Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Dr. Lynette Breedlove, Director of the Carol Martin Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science in Kentucky. And I welcome you to our graduation exercises as we celebrate the growth and accomplishments of these exceptional students. To preserve the decorum of our ceremony, please silence your cell phones. I invite you to please rise and join Mrs. Beth Pope in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
On behalf of the administration of the Gatton Academy and Western Kentucky University, our faculty, staff, and these impressive students gathered before us, I welcome all who have gathered here to pay tribute to our 2026 graduating class. I would like to give special recognition to our quintet for the beautiful music they are providing today. Members include Natalie Adcock, Lee Blakeman, Jefferson Tunks, Troy Puckett, and Troy Stovall. I also want to recognize our American Sign Language interpreters who are helping today, Julie Buckham and Ainsley Myers. We have a photographer, Lily Thompson, who's capturing important moments today, and the ceremony is live streaming to Gatton's YouTube channel. Both the photographs and the video of these proceedings will be available to Gatton students and families. Today is a day of celebration and reflection. These students have taken the most rigorous curriculum offered to any high school students in the nation. They left the comfort of their homes and established a level of independence that will impact their lives forever. And they have forged new friendships, which will grow exponentially in the years to come. These experiences have formed a foundation from which these exceptional young people can build lives of purpose, meaning, and service. As part of our celebration today, we would like to recognize different groups who've been instrumental in the lives of our graduates. I ask that you hold your applause until all members of a specific group have been recognized. We begin by thanking local legislators. It's been through the support of these and numerous other members of the Kentucky General Assembly that this opportunity was made available to students. Their investment makes a difference in preparing students for advanced careers in the Commonwealth. At this time, I invite any legislators who are in attendance today to please rise so that we may acknowledge you and thank you for your support. We also thank the Western Kentucky University Administration, whose support has been vital to the success of the Gatton Academy. If you are an administrator at WKU, would you please rise? It is fitting that recognition be given to individuals who have provided outstanding instruction and guidance for these graduates, both in the classroom and as mentors in research. Many of the things these students have pursued, research is one of the most significant of these. WKU faculty have mentored these students as they explored a wide array of disciplines, including art, biology, chemistry, computer science, criminology, economics, engineering, mathematics, meteorology, physics and astronomy, psychology and psychological sciences, and sociology. These powerful learning environments have brought relevance to so many areas of advanced learning. With the exceptional support of these incredible teachers and research mentors, the Gatton Academy thrives. At this time, I ask all WKU faculty members to stand so we may recognize you and express our appreciation for what you have helped these students accomplish. I would also like to give special thanks to the WKU Van Meter team and the members of the Information Technology Services Department for their key support of this event. Members of the Gatton Academy staff are the next to be recognized. The Gatton Academy staff give unselfishly of their time and talent to love, support, and guide our remarkable students. I would like to give, I thought I could do this, sorry. I would like to give a special word of gratitude to all of our staff who are so committed to the Gatton Academy and to these students' lives. They have created a second home for the students here through their dedication and enthusiasm, and they produce a warm, safe home that's a productive environment within which our students develop and grow. They learn important life skills through the support of these incredible people on this stage. All Gatton staff, please rise so that we may recognize you and your efforts to provide the best Gatton experience possible for our students. Now I'd like to recognize our alumni who have taken their Gatton Academy experiences to new levels. A number of our alumni have provided direct support to our graduates as desk workers and tutors and as advocates. With so many demands on their time, we are happy that some have joined us for today's festivities. So would our alumni who are here please rise? Alumni, thank you for your continued support of the Gatton community. The Gatton Academy has partnered with approximately 200 public high schools from across the Commonwealth. Students are fortunate to have superintendents and administrators, counselors, and teachers from across Kentucky who strive to meet the needs of high ability and gifted and talented students. Students are prepared to take advantage of the opportunities offered at Gatton due to the foundation laid by these educators. They have played key roles in the continued success of our students. We created the Gatton Academy Educator Recognition Program to highlight the important role educators play in our students having the opportunity to gain admission to our program. Graduates were invited to recognize one key educator who played an important role in their journey to Gatton. In their nominations, graduates described dedicated, hardworking educators who took time to build relationships with them, helped them find their strengths and interests, and instilled in them the confidence needed to pursue advanced opportunities. All of these educators will receive certificates of excellence. They were also invited to attend today to celebrate this important milestone in their students' lives. I'd like to ask any who are able to join us to stand as I call their names, and I apologize for any mispronunciations. So Dulce Brown from Hardin County, Bradley Fowler from Jefferson County, Renee Goen from Fayette County, Kristen Hicks from Simpson County, Elizabeth Hinton from Spencer County, Brittany Israel from Jefferson County, Kelly Lang from Boone County, Nick Martinez from Crittenden County, Jackson Moss of Garrett County, Amar Patel from Warren County, Jason Rand from Trinity High School, Lindsay Vandiver from Oldham County, Brant Wise from Christian County, and Jessica Wilmus from Barron County. There are also other dedicated educators who traveled here in support of their students. You too have been important in our students' educational journeys. If you are a teacher, counselor, or administrator from one of our graduate sending institutions, would you please rise? Next, I want to recognize the people who helped these students seize an opportunity that required substantial thought and sacrifice. They stepped out in faith in the knowledge that this opportunity would be the right place for their students to learn and grow. 2 years ago, they were the ones who carried boxes and dorm-sized refrigerators into Florence Schneider Hall, leaving their 15 and 16-year-olds behind and trusting their children and trusting the Gatton Academy. Throughout these past 2 years, they have supported and encouraged their students. They have been advocates for the Gatton Academy, and we owe much of the success that is ahead to their support and aid. When you think back to move-in day, isn't it impressive how much these graduates have grown in only 2 years? I invite all parents and guardians of today's graduates to please stand and remain standing. Would all grandparents of today's graduates please stand? And finally, would all other friends and relatives of today's graduates please stand? Thank you all for supporting these remarkable young people throughout their Gatton Academy experience. At this time, Dr. Julia Roberts, Executive Director of the Gatton Academy and Director of the Center for Gifted Studies and the Mahurin Professor of Gifted Studies, will come forward for remarks. Dr. Roberts defines advocacy. Her diligence and perseverance are why we are here today. Please welcome Dr. Roberts to the podium.
Welcome to the graduation of the Carol Martin Gatton Academy of Math and Science. Welcome to the families of Gatton students. Welcome to students. After all, this is who today is all about. 2027 will be the 20th year for the Gatton Academy. Can you even imagine that? I can't. In 1997, the idea for a Kentucky high school program with a focus on math and science was but a dream. Dr. Charles Magruder and I wrote a very small proposal to spark thinking about such a program. Of course, a statewide residential high school program with a focus on mathematics and science was not a new idea. In fact, North Carolina School began in 1980. A decade of advocacy and planning preceded for students arriving at the Gatton Academy. The story continues with you, the 2026 graduates of the Gatton Academy. Gatton Academy graduates, you have created an exceptional record during your 2 years as you have completed high school and launched your college career simultaneously. You have engaged in research, presenting your research on campus as well as at conferences across the United States. It is with joy that I recognize you as graduates of the Gatton Academy. Everyone here has played a significant role in the success of the Gatton Academy. Parents and family members, you've trusted us to do what the mission and vision said we would do. You trusted the staff to be everything that you were told they would do. The faculty at WKU has shown dedication to excellence in teaching and research, which has provided the academic preparation for Academy students to soar. Gatton Academy staff have provided the steady, day-to-day support for you as Gatton students. Please remember that without the interest and ongoing support of members of the Kentucky General Assembly, the Gatton Academy would not exist. So it's with the support of multiple sources that the Gatton Academy has become the beacon of excellence that we hoped and planned for it to be. Although you have been recognized as high school graduates today, you are atypical high school graduates. Congratulations to each of you.
This afternoon, we honor 82 graduating seniors as part of the Gatton Academy's class of 2026. They have excelled in their endeavors both in and out of the classroom and have continued to establish the path that countless classes will follow. They will leave today as ambassadors for the Gatton Academy while growing as innovators for this great Commonwealth. Each year, the senior class selects students to share reflections from their experiences and to look ahead towards the coming year. Our first speaker is Charles Maddox, a graduating senior from Pembroke. He was a very active member of our community. Charles served as a community developer for his wing, but was very much also a community developer for our entire building. He served as Y Club president and participated in our study abroad program to England as well as Costa Rica. Please welcome Charles to the podium.
Good afternoon, friends, families, and Gatton staff. I am honored and humbled to speak in front of you all today. I would like to begin with some very much due gratitude, and I would like to say thank you to all of the Gatton staff who have supported us along this journey. Your constant understanding and devotion are remarkable. Thank you to all of the professors who have taught us so much both academically and professionally. And thank you to my family for encouraging me and keeping me going. Finally, thank you to the class of 2026 for changing my life. I have learned more from you than I could ever express, and I will be forever grateful for the inspiration that you have given me that pushes me to be better every single day. If there is one thing Gatton has taught me, is that there's always more to learn. And in addition to this, I believe that everyone has a lesson to teach. I will constantly be trying to learn just about anything from just about anybody, which is what made writing this speech such a challenge for me. Because I've spent the past 2 years learning from and being inspired every single one of you. And honestly, it feels a little bit odd that I should be the one standing in front of all of you trying to inspire you instead of the other way around. And now, when I really think about the inspiration that you've given me, what comes to mind is the everyday interactions. It's these smaller acts that push me to be a better person and support those around me. Daily encounters like when folks stop by the Great Hall to say hi, and a lot of times end up sticking around to help me with whatever calculus problem is going straight over my head. I doubt I could have gotten far without you guys, and the fact that I'm walking across this stage today is a testament to the support that you have given me. You all have also taught me to branch out and to spread my wings. If you had told pre-Gatton Charlie that somehow I would end up on a beach in Costa Rica or at a Waffle House in Bowling Green at 11 p.m., I would not have believed you. But we made it happen. You all made it happen. And as a class, you've pushed me to endeavor and to expand my horizons, and for that, I will be forever grateful to you. Finally, and most important of all, you have shown and instilled within me an unbreakable drive and determination. During my time at Gatton, I have watched as you have all completed groundbreaking research projects, learned complicated new languages, and devoted yourself to specific subjects or to the community at large. And seeing this dedication has not only taught me to push myself, but also conveyed to me the importance of devotion and tenacity. And all of this is to say, whether you believe it or not, you have had a profoundly powerful impact on me and on all of your classmates. Something my mother has always told me is to know your worth and to add tax. And trust me, your contribution to the Gatton Academy and our community here is priceless. Priceless with a little bit of tax added onto it. So, I encourage you to never forget how impactful you have been and how impactful you can be as you move on. And as I think back to my time at Gatton, one of my favorite memories, it was during our study abroad trip in England, when a group and myself decided to climb a mountain near Ambleside, a town that we were visiting in the Lake District. And while we were on this hike, we found a lot of what we called fake peaks, or false peaks. This was when the mountain would seem to top out only for us to discover that there was another peak right behind it. And in a way, this hike was very similar to the Gatton Academy experience, battling to get that essay done or to ace this next exam, only to find out that they were just another step along the way. But just like that hike in England, we have finally made it to the top. Now, I encourage you to look down at the view, not in fear of the height with which you now stand, but in the confidence, knowing that you have conquered every single peak that this mountain has thrown at you, and every single challenge that you have faced along the way. And in closing, I just want to say one last thank you to everyone in this room, because it took all of you to create this amazing opportunity. And because of you, my life and the lives of the Gatton Academy class of 2026 will be forever changed. Thank you.
Our second speaker, Corinne Green, is a graduating senior from Bowling Green. She served as an avatar, helping prospective families learn more about us, serving on panels and leading tours. Corinne could also be found at every event with the Gatton Academy camera, documenting it for social media and the yearbook as part of Gatton's media team. In addition, she did biology research with Dr. Srivastava and participated in the England Study Abroad program. Please welcome Corinne to the stage.
Hi everyone. My name is Corinne Green, and on behalf of the 2026 graduating class of Gatton Academy, I would like to extend a thank you to all of the family and friends who have been unconditional cheerleaders for the students here today. I would also like to acknowledge the faculty, staff, and administrators from Gatton and Western Kentucky University. Part of what makes today so heavy is saying goodbye to the people who got us here. So to the counselors and advisors who got us through our hardest times, to the staff who offered unwavering support throughout college applications, and to the RCs who exercised unwavering patience and commitment to us, thank you. My class and I would not have made it here without you. To my mom and my dad, and to all of the moms, dads, grandparents, and whoever else is here for their student today, I think I speak for the class of 2026 when I say thank you. Thank you for trusting us, thank you for trusting Gatton, and thank you for believing in us. And to Lynette, Thank you for everything you've done for this school. The legacy that you will leave behind and the impact that you have made on every Gatton student for the last 12 years is immeasurable. And to the graduating class of 2026, congratulations on making it this far. Now that we finally reached the end of this chapter, we have to answer some seemingly scary questions about what comes next. And to figure that out, I have another question for you. One that Dr. Dinan asked us on our study abroad trip to England last year. What is poetry? I would let you sit on that question for a moment, but we've had almost a year to think about our answers, so I promise I won't start a debate right now. But there's something to be said about Dr. Dinan's question, isn't there? On that unusually sunny English day, we all picked a side of the argument. Poetry is words on a paper. Poetry is music. Poetry is a dream. It was really silly then, but it's real now. Gatton was a dream, and one chapter in 82 futures. I know that Gatton's a math and science school, but let's get literary for a moment. In poetry, there's a tool called enjambment. It's the continuation of one line into another without an indicated pause, so no commas, no periods. But that grammatical definition is a little bit dry, and it misses what makes the word so special, what makes it a model of the Gatton experience. Enjambment is so much more than a poetic device. It's said that life imitates art, and that's true. But Gatton has taught me that art, its conventions, and its labels are some of the clearest indicators of life. Enjambment represents momentum. It represents a refusal to stop and a stubbornness that has inspired me throughout my time here. Enjambment forces the reader to keep their eyes moving even when the margins tell them to stop. Those who came to this academy before us left blank pages and empty lines for us to fill, and we filled them. We filled them with things like throwing cheese on windows, telling computer science horror stories to our juniors, and hitting the Dougie at the Halloween dance. We took the momentum that our grand seniors left at the end of their lines, and we carried it into ours. These small moments that we may have passed over in our time here became the ink to the lines that we wrote together. And now, like a sentence reaching the edge of its paper, we are sitting on the edge of our Gatton experience. And as we sit in our caps and gowns, about to cross the stage and into the next phase of life, it's natural to be intimidated by the blank space on the next page, because I know I am. We're anxious about the shift to new universities and about everything we're leaving behind, because before Gatton, we're conditioned to think that moving on means starting over completely. But this experience has given every single one of us something very special. It reminds us that in these moments, not to forget about continuation. It's not just about what we're leaving behind, but what's coming with us. We're not the same people we were when we moved into Florence Schneider Hall. We're not the same students who sat nervously in our first college class, wondering if we should introduce ourselves as Gatton students or say we live in Fish. We spent the last 2 years writing at a breakneck pace, and we filled the space we were given with the most beautiful and authentic stories that we could have told. Parents, I hope you realize and embrace the fact that the child coming back to you after this experience is not the same one that you dropped off 2 years ago. The child you take home today will be taking home more than just laundry and wall decorations. The child you take home today is bringing with them a new volume filled to the brim with potential. I know that for a lot of people, the words seem to stop suddenly today. We're gonna pack up our dorms, pull down the command strips and probably the paint with it, and say our goodbyes. And it looks like an ending, but it isn't. The enjambment of this school is in the legacy you leave and the lessons you carry with you into the future. The scores and the final grades are periods, but the person you became here, the drive you developed, and the curiosity you maintained to achieve those things will flow with you from one campus to the next if you let it. Your growth refuses to be contained by a single line, experience, or campus. And I hope that every single one of you continues to grow in towards the direction of your dreams. The story you have written here and will continue to write is a song of yourself. As Walt Whitman once wrote, I contain multitudes. We contain multitudes. And that is poetry. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles and Corinne, for sharing your thoughts and reflections with us. Dr. Michael Muscarella is a Kentuckian who has long been a supporter of education for young people at advanced levels. In fact, Dr. Muscarella was an early advocate for the idea of a Kentucky Academy before it was the Gatton Academy. Dr. Muscarella is a physical therapist by preparation, and he has had a sterling career as executive director of ambulatory services with the Baptist healthcare system in Kentucky and Indiana. He has been a member of the advisory board for the Gatton Academy and the Center for Gifted Studies since it was formed. And he has made 2 trips to Bowling Green just this week, one for the advisory council and today to be our speaker. Welcome, Dr. Muscarella.
Graduates, families, faculty, and friends, today is a celebration, but it's also a moment of recognition because what you've done here at Gatton is not typical. You chose change early. You chose to leave comfort early. And let's be honest, you chose to take college-level classes at an age when most people are still trying to figure out how to fold a fitted sheet. And in doing so, you stepped into something that would change you. If there is one word that comes up again and again when people describe Gatton, it's this: opportunity. Students talk about opportunities they never would have had otherwise. One graduate, now in medical school, said it simply: the opportunity was the greatest benefit. Research, travel, challenge, connection, scholarship. Another, now pursuing a doctorate in pharmacy, described it this way: Gatton pushed me beyond what I thought were my limits and gave me the confidence to pursue my direction. Parents saw it too. Doors opening into STEM fields, into experiences far beyond what a traditional high school could offer. Gatton doesn't just educate, it expands what you believe is possible. But here's the truth: opportunity alone does not change you. What changes you is what happens when you meet the opportunity. And what you met here was challenge. Many of you were used to being the strongest student in the room. And then you came here and suddenly, that wasn't always the case. One student reflected, I realized I wasn't going to be the smartest person in the room, and that's completely okay. That realization can be humbling. It can also be slightly traumatic, somewhere around your first physics exam. But it's also a turning point, because here you learn something deeper. Success is not about being the most naturally gifted. It's about persistence. As one student said, hard work will get you farther than any innate brilliance. Another described it as resilience, the ability to adapt, to figure it out, and to keep moving forward no matter the challenge. You learn to struggle, to push through, to sit with difficult problems, whether it was calculus, physics, or figuring out how you somehow studied for 6 hours and still weren't done. And you came out stronger on the other side. And in that process, something even more important happened. You didn't just become better students, you became more fully formed people. Parents talked about watching their children grow in confidence, independence, and resilience. One described it as becoming comfortable in their own skin. And one parent put it in very practical terms. His independence has skyrocketed. He tells me now, "Mom, I can do it myself. Laundry, cooking, cleaning, all of it." Which may be one of the most unexpected and appreciated outcomes of a STEM academy. Students talked about learning to be more than just academically strong, to be communicative, responsible, respectful, to understand that who you are matters just as much as what you know. Because Gatton is not an academic experience, it's a human one. And no part of that experience matters more than the people you shared it with. Again and again, we hear the same thing: the friendships, the community, the connection. One student said, "My peers aren't my competitors," which is a remarkable realization, especially in a place full of people who could absolutely be your competitors. Another graduate shared this advice: hold on to those friendships with everything you have. They will be among the most valuable things you gain. That's not just sentiment, that's experience talking. Because no one else quite understands what this journey was like except the people sitting next to you right now. Of course, none of this happened without one of the most defining parts of the Gatton experience: independence. You left home earlier than most. You learned to manage your time, your responsibilities, your life. You learned to take ownership of your decisions, something one graduate called a valuable asset, not just for success, but for being a good human. You learned to advocate for yourself, to go to office hours, to ask questions, to speak up. And for many of you, that first visit to office hours felt a little intimidating. Like, I'm about to walk in and reveal that I do not, in fact, understand anything. And then you discovered that's exactly what office hours are for. Parents went through their own transition too. One said, "We learned how to move from being hands-on parents to becoming mentors." Another described how hard it was to let their only child leave home early, but then just weeks later they saw something different. He stood a little straighter, with a sense of peace that he was in the right place. And another simply said, "I'm just so grateful for this program, for young people to grow." That's what this experience does. It doesn't just prepare you academically, it prepares you to stand on your own. And along the way, you picked up something incredibly practical, the skills that will carry you forward: time management, study skills, communication, balance. One student said it best: sometimes a nap and a snack really will fix all your problems. That might sound simple, but honestly, that's graduate level wisdom right there. Because what you've learned is not just how to push harder, but how to sustain yourself. How to recognize when you need to work and when you need to rest. And that matters because the path ahead is long, which brings us to the most important point. This experience does not end today. Again and again, we see the long-term impact of Gatton. Students go on to medical school, PhD programs, engineering, physics, pharmacy, and beyond. But more importantly, they carry with them confidence in their direction, resilience in the face of challenge, and a deeper understanding of who they are and what they want to pursue. One parent, reflecting years later, said, We know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this experience prepared him to be a kind, hardworking professional and a good human being. That's the real outcome. Not just what you achieve, but who you become. So as you leave here today, you carry more than knowledge. You carry the confidence that comes from doing hard things, the humility of learning alongside people just as capable as you, the relationships that will stay with you for life, the independence to navigate what comes next, and importantly, the ability to survive on very little sleep when necessary. The future you are stepping into is complex. It will need your intelligence, yes, but also your judgment, your character, your willingness to ask not just, can we, but should we? You are ready for that, not because the road ahead will be easy, but because you know how to walk it. So take what you've gained here and use it. Take the opportunities and create more. Take the challenges and meet them. Take the relationships and nurture them. Take the person you've become and keep growing. And when things feel overwhelming, as they sometimes will, remember, you've already done something difficult. You've already proven you can adapt, grow, and succeed in an environment that demanded more of you. That doesn't go away. Graduates, class of 2026, this is your moment. Go forward with curiosity. Go forward with courage. Go forward with purpose. And maybe, when needed, with a nap and a snack. Congratulations. Before Dr. Breedlove returns to the podium, I would like to invite Ashley Taylor, the Assistant Director of Alumni Relations and Outreach here at Gatton, forward to say a few words on behalf of the Gatton Academy staff and advisory board. Ashley.
Thank you, Mike. As you all know, Dr. Lynette Breedlove has led the Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science for the past 12 years. That's 12 years of time management workshops, Jimmy John's group orders, late night phone calls, and advising staff on every student situation that inevitably became a rule in the following year's handbook. 12 years of navigating the highest highs and lowest lows, plus everything in between, all of which landed squarely on her capable and willing shoulders. It is only fitting that today, as we celebrate not only this graduating class of 2026, but also the 18 others that paved the way for them, that we recognize her as well before she begins her next adventure. So Lynette, if you would please step forward. On behalf of the leadership team of the Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science, we would like to present to you an honorary diploma in recognition of your years of leadership and service to the students of the Gatton Academy, its alumni, and also the staff you mentored along the way. We are honored to cement your impact on Gatton within its history with the bestowing of this diploma. Thank you. Thank you all so much. And thank you. Thank you, Dr. Muscarella, for sharing your words of inspiration, as well as those of Gatton alumni and their parents. You have made an indelible mark on Gatton's community through your service in your own community and directly through Gatton by connecting young people with us and encouraging them to pursue their next best and their infinite possibilities. So usually at graduation, I don't make personal remarks, but this year, I'm gonna make personal remarks. Since this is the last time that I'll preside over a Gatton commencement ceremony. 12 years ago, when I did this for the first time, I was terrified. I had never been in charge of a graduation ceremony, and reading a script has never been my strong suit. And I wanted to be sure my performance was befitting for this enormous occasion, for this statewide #1 high school in America, like legendary place. And I wanted to appropriately honor the incredible history of this institution. Now, with more time within the Gatton community and a lot more practice, I know my worry was unfounded. I still get nervous, mostly about reading your preference for a hug or a handshake, and on occasion having to pull off a particularly stylized greeting. And I always worry about being awkward and ruining the moment for the student. But it's important to remember that being nervous tells us we are growing, and this is important to us. So, our graduation is not for our institution. My worry was unfounded because graduation is for you, our graduates. It's our chance to formally celebrate the incredible growth you've made over the past 2 years and ceremoniously usher you along on your journey of infinite possibilities. I've had the opportunity to get to know 1,170 students while they attended Gatton. And I've also met many alumni from before the beginning of my tenure. What an incredible honor it has been for me to support so many remarkable people. During Grow Week and in seminar, I tell students a little bit about my career journey. I do that to reassure them that it's okay to change paths and it's important to know your why. I've always wanted to make a positive impact on the lives of young people. I like kids, and I like making a difference in their lives. I thought that would be really fulfilling. At first, I thought I would do that as a physician. Then I discovered medical school really was not for me. It was a really miserable time in my life, in part because I didn't choose it for the right reason, and in part, it wasn't the right fit. But when I started teaching, I knew that was the right decision. Changing paths was really hard, but it was worth it. And I wanted students to really understand that it's always okay to change paths. When I have a college letter writer meeting, when I watch students talk to legislators or present their research, usually research I don't understand, or I go to an alumni dinner, my heart is full, and I know I chose the right path. Deciding to move to Bowling Green from Houston for Gatton was really an easy decision. I knew it was time to take another step in my career journey. Deciding to leave Gatton has been incredibly hard. Gatton is amazing, and I have been so lucky to be a part of this remarkable community. It was amazing and remarkable when I came to Gatton 12 years ago, and it will be amazing and remarkable under the guidance of a new director. The Gatton Academy as an institution and Gatton as a community are strong because of the collective dedication to its culture and values, not because of any one person. It is all of us together, all of you, that make Gatton amazing and remarkable. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of something so incredibly special. Okay, now it's time to recognize our graduates. So, thank you. I invite Mrs. Carrie Lynn Summers to the podium, and she will give instructions for the individual recognition of our graduates.
Marshals, please bring the graduates forward. This is a special time of the ceremony in which we recognize each student individually for their accomplishments. We are thankful to have professional photographers with us today who will be taking photos of each graduate as they receive their diploma. Please refrain from coming to the stage to take pictures or blocking the view of others by standing. Arij Ali, Laurel County. Rowan Lucas Bailey, Bourbon County. Elena Victoria Bowers, Hardin County. Brew Brown and Thumper, Bullitt County. Hassam Brula, Warren County. Cambry Bunch, Whitley County. Isaiah Bird, Spencer County. Jacob Cano Mauricio, Spencer County. Trisha Arya Chabra, Warren County. Aryan Chanthala, Boone County. Natalie Ryan Clark, Garrett County. Justin Colgate, Barron County. Cameron Collette, Whitley County. Macy Catherine Conger, Crittenden County. Flynn William Cook, Campbell County. Krish Duca, Oldham County. Talia Raylan Ellis, Hart County. Senna Warren County. Rose Ferguson, Graves County. Harper Lynn Valentine Farrell, Warren County. Lori Fitzgerald, Jefferson County. Grace Fulkerson, LaRue County. Chris Gachagua, Madison County. Hemini Gangumalu, Jefferson County. Vedant Garg, Jefferson County. Keaton Austin Garrison, Warren County. Lucy Gast, Hopkins County. Corinne Elise Green, Warren County. Viddy Grover, Jefferson County. Quinn Hall, Jefferson County. Rowan Hall, Jefferson County. Roby Hardesty, Kenton County. Eric Hebenstiel, Boone County. Dylan Henry, Jefferson County. Robert Hawley, Warren County. Eric Huang, Warren County. Noah Gent, Perry County. Youngwoo Kim, Madison County. Elijah Clayton King, Hardin County. Sanam Naresh Krishnani, Jefferson County. Ben Lee, Jefferson County. Charles Thomas Maddox, Christian County. Mitch Markham, Oldham County. Leo Martinez, Warren County. Caitlin Maisie Morgan, Breckenridge County. Perthu Naik, Jefferson County. Virginia Nance Whaler, Hopkins County. Alrose Maria Nerona, Oldham County. Adelaide May Ogilvy, Christian County. Amog Patnaik, Warren County. Alexander Stephen Patterson, Bullitt County. Landon Patton, Scott County. Logan Potts, Oldham County. Emmanuel Ramirez, Warren County. Neha Gunta Reddy, Warren County. Antonio Enrique Reyna, Barron County. Addison Roberts, Marshall County. Logan Bradley Robinson, Davis County. Helen Warwick Rose, Fayette County. Ethan Michael Rosenbaum, Oldham County. Zed Abdullah Salim, Laurel County. Andrea Grace Shaw, Scott County. Ash Sheehan, Fayette County. Dominic Robert Saleo, Shelby County. Anderson Leah Slinker, Metcalfe County. Kendall Patrick Smith, Lincoln County. Ava Elizabeth Smith, Marshall County. Quinn Suchi, Warren County. Nicholas Sugimoto, Boone County. Serenity Tate, Hardin County. Sophia K. Thomas, Henry County. Annabelle Sophia Thompson, Spencer County. Maxwell Toller, McCracken County. Adriana Williams, Simpson County. Lydia Elizabeth Wilmus, Madison County. Becca Wills, Fayette County. Cameron Wood, Hardin County. Austin Wooden, Bullitt County. Amber Wu, Callaway County. Ryan Yang, Rowan County. Elaine Zeiser, Kenton County. Brian Michael Zimmerman, Todd County. Dr. Breedlove, these candidates have completed the requirements for a high school diploma prescribed by the Gatton Academy in conformity to the standards of the Kentucky Department of Education and the WKU Board of Regents. On behalf of Western Kentucky University, the Gatton Academy, and each student sending institution, I extend these students congratulations and the earnest pride we feel towards each of them for having accomplished this milestone. At this time, friends and guests, it is my great pleasure to present to you the members of the Carroll Martin Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science in Kentucky's class of 2026.
Will the platform party and the faculty please rise? It is with pleasure that I recommend to you that the appropriate status be conferred upon these candidates who have completed the prescribed program of study and demonstrated their qualifications for this high recognition. Will the members of the class of 2026 please rise? As the 19th graduating class of the Carroll Martin Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Science in Kentucky, you are the true representatives of Gatton's spirit. As you have received from this institution, so it is your responsibility to give back to the generations of students yet to come. Your support will be invaluable to the success of this program and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. At this time, to signify your accomplishments and your change in status from student to graduate, please move your tassels from the right side of your mortarboard to the left, placing them over your heart. This brings us to the conclusion of our ceremony. Please join me in congratulating the Gatton Academy class of 2026.